Hello, my name is Mrs. Zeke and this is English for 5th and 6th grade. Today we are going to be going over the definitions of monotheism and polytheism, but we will be doing this with a little English twist and practicing how to find these definitions using context clues. Today you will need something to write with and something to write on. Please take a minute to grab those now. All right, in order for us to practice using context clues with monotheism and polytheism, let's try with a different word first. I'm going to give you a sentence and I want you to try to figure out the definition of the bolded word audacity. Let's practice that now. My mother had the audacity to snatch my phone from my ear and start talking to my boyfriend. I was so embarrassed. Based off of that sentence, what would you guess is the definition of audacity? Taking a look at that sentence, you can pull out a few clues to help you understand the definition of audacity. First, look at the exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. I was so embarrassed. That gives us the clue that to be audacious or audacity might mean something with embarrassed. Then you can pull apart what the person felt after the mother took the phone. They could not believe that her mom would start talking to her boyfriend. Using the clues after the word audacity in the sentence that follows, we can piece together that the definition must be something to do with being rude or having bold behavior, which is exactly how that mother was acting. Knowing how to use context clues to put the definitions together of words we don't know, let's practice that now with our two terms for today. First, let's try monotheism. Our sentence states, since the ancient Greeks and Romans did not believe in monotheism, they worshipped many gods. Looking at this sentence, using the context clues after our word monotheism, what would you guess is the meaning of that term? Knowing that they worshipped many gods and knowing that the Greeks did not believe in that, you can use that negative term not to help you understand that monotheism means the worship of one God. Another clue might be that term mono, the prefix of the word monotheism. Mono also means one. Theism meaning belief. So using the context clues and also pulling apart those stems can help you determine the meaning of the word monotheism, the worship of one God. Let's try that again with polytheism. Let's look at our sentence now. The early Greeks practiced polytheism and gave a number of gods credit for the blessings they received. Looking at what comes after the word polytheism, and pulling apart the prefix poly, you can determine that the meaning of the word polytheism is the worship of many gods. So we have two terms, monotheism and polytheism, meaning two different things, the worshiping of one God and worshiping of many. I want to pull in some information that we learned in our last episode and challenge you next. Last time we were together, we talked about the 5 major religions in the world: Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and folk religions. Let's apply the definitions of monotheism and polytheism to those definitions. Take a minute and on your papers, write an M next to the term, next to the religion, that is monotheism, and a P next to the religion that believes in polytheism. Take a minute to do that now. All right, let's check those answers. First, Christianity. Put an M next to that, the belief in one God. The same with Islam, an M, monotheism. Next, we have Hinduism, and that is the belief of many gods. So put a P next to that. I tricked you a little bit with Buddhism. We cannot classify Buddhism as either mono or polytheism because there are spiritual beliefs there and not necessarily gods. So I tricked you on that one. And finally, folk religions. You can put both because there are so many different kinds of folk religions. Great job in your practice for today. There's a reason why we focused a little bit on the Greeks, and we'll talk about that more next week. That concludes our lesson for today. It has been my pleasure having you in class. My name is Mrs. Zeke, and I'll see you next week.